hello. All right. Okay. Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We present our weekly radio show every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We have interviews from Aurelio Martinez to Consigo, Gado Nunez, Gloria Osiris, Lord Agustin. Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga brings them all to you on our weekly radio show. Listen live on your home computer, smartphone, iPad, and notebook. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook through Ronnie Figueroa. Also on TuneIn, if you don't have the application, download it for free. Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga.
Lugayu, Ariha Buma, Igra Maita Luba
ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We are live and direct from the studios in Long Beach, California. And we are live through www.radiocentroamerica.com and from www.lmbroots.com radio. Tonight we have the pleasure and the honor to have a very special guest, Miss Andrea E. Leland, director, producer, camera. Miss Andrea Leland is an independent filmmaker and artist as well. She has produced and directed award-winning documentaries focusing on the Caribbean and Latin American cultures. In Haiti, Belize, Chiapas, Mexico, and in several Caribbean islands, she works collaboratively with the community members, providing a forum to voice their untold stories, personal challenges, and compelling triumphs. Social, artistic, or political actions are placed within context of their culture, imploring the viewer to confront all old myths and discover a new perspective. These documentaries are successful tools for cultural preservation. Some of the titles include James C. King of Scratch in 2006, The Garifuna Journey 1998, The Lone Road Home in 1991, and Voodoo and the Church in Haiti in 1989. These films have won numerous awards and have screened at museums, conferences, and festivals throughout Europe, Latin America, and the United States. Selected invitational screenings include American Museum of Natural History, New York, 18th Bilan du Film, Ethnographic, Paris, France, the Pan-African Film Festival in Los Angeles, and the Smithsonian National Museum of American Indian in New York. All unedited raw footage, transcripts, projects, notes, and other materials from the Caribbean collections are available for research purposes at the Center for Black Music Research Library Archives. The material is available free to the public for any person interested in doing further research. We have the website, which will be posted briefly on our Facebook page, Ronnie Figueroa. Please make me your friend, Ronnie Figueroa, R-O-N-Y Figueroa. We are live tonight with Miss Andrea Leland. Andrea is also a member of the New Day Films. She is the co-founder of the St. John Film Society, which presents independent films free to the public on the island of St. John and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So welcome tonight, Miss Andrea E. Leland, all the way from U.S. Virgin Islands. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm good. I'm really good.
Excellent to have you.
Night. Almost a full moon out there.
What was that, Andrea? Can you repeat that?
I said it's a beautiful night out here in the Virgin Islands. It's a full moon.
Oh, wonderful. I am envious of you. I would like to be there right now with my hammock. So how are you, Miss Andrea Leland? What was that?
Come and join me.
Oh, I will have to take a plane tomorrow.
Okay.
Congratulations, right. Andrea. Congratulations on the wonderful work you have been doing in the Garifuna community with two beautiful documentaries. One was the Garifuna Journey. Let's talk about your beginnings with the Garifuna community, that relationship that you have with the Garinagu today. How did they start?
Well, it started a long time ago, actually, in 1980, when I was a graduate student at the School of the Art Institute in Chicago, and I wanted to go to an island to look at art and artistic expression and the layers of culture, and I tried to pick an island in the Caribbean that had no tourism or very little tourism. So I picked St. Vincent.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I went to St. Vincent, and while I was on the island, I heard about a group of people that had been exiled and I was told that, and I was very curious, why were they exiled so long ago, like 200 years prior? And I was told because they had resisted slavery. So I said I always wanted to find out more about this particular community because I was really curious about what their artistic expression would look like. So there was a group called the Caribs that were up in Sandy Bay, but at the time that I was there in 1980, I was told I shouldn't go up to that community because they were very unfriendly. So, of course, that made me want to go. And when I went, I found, these are the Caribs, the Black Caribs, as they were called. That's how I knew them at that time, the Black Caribs. So that was 1980, and then 14 years later, after I had really done as much research as I could about the community, I found that my partner at the time, Bob Richards, called me, and he was in Belize, and he said the community that had been exiled, these Black Caribs, were in Belize, and they were having a huge festival, and I should come down and see this and photograph it or film it. He was a photographer, and also he was my filmmaking partner at the time. So I went down to Belize, and that was the time that they were reenacting the resettlement or the settlement in Belize.
Oh, I see.
So that
Beautiful.
became the first footage. It was Griffin Settlement Day in Belize, and that became the first footage of my film, The Griffin Journey. And then that was the first time I had heard the name Garifuna as opposed to Black Carib. I always knew them as Black Carib. So anyways, what happened is my partner and I went back to Chicago, and we met Rodel Castillo in Chicago. And Bob, my partner, had put up a photographic exhibit of some of the photographs he took during Settlement Day. So when we were in Chicago and showed these photographs, we met Rodel Castillo, and he said, we became friends with him, and he said that if we really wanted to document the Garifuna culture, we had to go before the National Garifuna Council in Belize. So that's what we did. We went before the council, and we asked if we could work with them to create a film, and they looked at our other work, especially the voodoo film that we had made.
Oh, yes.
And they decided that we were able to respectfully present a culture without a lot of negative stereotypes. So they agreed to let us work with them. And that was the beginning, 1994.
Wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, since 1994. Yes, definitely. Well, I want to first of all congratulate you on your patience and dedication that you have had with traveling, with equipment, and with people, with your cameraman, because we had the opportunity to work together when you were finalizing Yurumen Homeland right here in Los Angeles, as you came to meet with Armando Crisanto, the director of the Ballet Folclórico Nacional Garifuna from Honduras, as they were on a tour here in Los Angeles. And I was able to see the kind of work that you do. I mean, not anybody is cut out to be a filmmaker. It takes a lot of patience, it takes a lot of money, and it takes a lot of time to prepare the script. The whole idea has to come together, and you are behind a camera shooting raw material, and you don't know what this is going to end up, what you're going to end up with. So congratulations on the work that you have done, both on the Garifuna Journey and Homeland, Yurumen Homeland, wonderful documentaries. I was also present during the Pan-African Film Festival 2015 right now in the month of February in Los Angeles, as the screening of the movie Yurumen was presented. It was a weekday. If I'm not mistaken, it was on a Wednesday, and it was early afternoon, around 3:45 or 4:45 p.m. And having to see this documentary brought tears to my eyes. And it was not only me, it was everybody else who was there. And there was more
Really?
Caribbean. Yes, it was Caribbean people from other islands.
Yes.
And not as many Garifuna people as I expected to see. I was able to see Dr. Jorge Bernardes was there, Dr. Catherine Gill, who is also a Garifuna from Sandy Bay in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He was one of the presenters. We were there representing GAFU, the Garifuna American Heritage Foundation United, to also represent and talk about the film. But I could not help to shed tears of joy, of happiness, and of sadness too, because you were able to capture that moment in which Garinagu from Honduras come together with the Garifuna of the island of St. Vincent and take a tour of the island of Baliso, which is the place where more than 2,000 Garifuna, more than 5,000 Garifuna people died there, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, what they say is that there were 5,000 that were exiled, and only 2,000 survived.
Exactly.
All the
yes.
Garinagu today come from those 2,000 descendants, which is pretty amazing.
That's
really.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm very curious to know. I'm sorry I wasn't at that Pan African Festival. I would love to know what some of the audience members thought. What kind of questions did they ask? And were they aware of the story?
No, a lot of people did not know the Garifuna story. They were very surprised, and they were very attracted to the whole story, the whole exile, and they wanted to know where are the Garifuna today. And of course, the little bit of information they got for the documentary, they were able to start doing their own research. They got on their iPhones and smartphones and started Googling the word Yurumen, the word Garifuna. And so by the end of the documentary, we had all sorts of questions. There was one African-American gentleman who said, why are you so connected, and why do you claim Amerindian more than you claim Africans? And Cheryl gave him an answer. Dr. Gill gave him an answer, and there was other people that said, "Yeah, I could see the strong connection between the indigenous people more than the African people." But of course, it is distinct to see that Garifuna people descend from Africans. And the other question that came from the audience was. They really wanted to know more about the early arrival of Africans into the islands. We're talking about the 1300s when King Abubakar came with over 1,000 small ships, and they reached as far as the Lesser Antilles, and then they started to mingle, and then the shipwreck came to add more of the blacks who were, of course, enslaved and who got freed in the island as the shipwreck happened, to add more to the mix that was already happening. So there was all sorts of questions, very intelligent questions, and very difficult to answer.
Yeah, those are all very difficult to answer. And, I had to think about every one of those questions when I was making the film. What do I put in? What do I leave out? And ultimately, I decided that, this is Garifuna oral history and Garifuna mythology, if you will. And it's not my place to censor it or to say, no, that really didn't happen. Because whose history is it? Who wrote the history book, as Gwen Nunes said. So, the history is being written. And I don't know if it's being rewritten, but it's being retold. Let's put it that way.
Yes.
So I think that there's room for this discussion for sure. And, you know, a lot of people really object to some of those facts. And in fact, talking about the shipwreck, I've heard some really interesting theories about that. First of all, Dr. Gill has 3 different theories about the shipwreck and how it could have happened, because how could slaves who were, you know, shackled together survived, and all of the other people on the ship, all of the slave owners didn't, you know, all of the people who were controlling them didn't. So he had some pretty interesting theories about how that happened. And then there's another woman, Melanie Newton. I don't know if you know her. She's up in Toronto. She's a professor at the University of Toronto. And she put forth a paper that said that this whole idea of a shipwreck was put forth by the colonial government, by the British, so that the Garifuna cannot claim indigeneity, because they came to the island just like the British came. So let the, you know, stronger man win, so to speak. So there is a lot of discussion around the indigenous nature of the Garifuna, and you know, it bears further discussion for sure.
Man, that's very interesting. Can you please repeat that name of that person or professor in Canada?
Melanie Newton, Newton. I can send you information about that.
That would be great,
her contact information, yeah. But I thought that was a really interesting conversation that she had. So you know, I did have an opportunity to show Euromane in Toronto at just before the Toronto Film Festival at the Caribbean Film Festival. And it was a theater film. There were about 300 people in the audience, again, mostly from the Caribbean, because there's a very big Caribbean contingent in Toronto. And I got the same kind of reaction. I was really surprised. People did not know the story if they came from other islands. There were 2 or 3 people who were there from St. Vincent. And in fact, they recognized some of the people in the film because they were their relatives. And the reaction is that those who were from St. Vincent were really proud to see the story, you know, surprised actually to see the story on the big screen. And the other folks were really appreciative of even knowing of the story, because they didn't know it either. So here we are in the Caribbean, you know, with the majority of the textbooks that everybody grew up on, either written by the French or the Spanish or the English. And there's really no mention of, or just minimal mention of, the story of the Garifuna and the, you know, and the strong resistance and the resulting culture today. And so, yeah, I'm glad I was able to do this story. And the other piece that I wanted to say is that you know, the film has also been shown in Belize.
Oh wow!
It was shown down in Hopkins actually, and in Dangriga. And the reaction there was also, I think it was pretty emotional, because they too saw what was missing, you know, the disconnect in the homeland that they so revere, you know.
Yes, indeed.
It's a complicated story with a lot of emotion, for sure, and I certainly felt it when I was making the film.
Right. Andrea, I have a question. And this is in regards to the time you spent in St. Vincent, and the time that was so in tune with you making of the documentary when the Ballet Folklorico Garifuna from Honduras arrived. That was an amazing timing. How did that happen?
Can you repeat that question? You're asking me about when the Hondurans came to Belize?
Yeah, no. This is in regards to the documentary, Euromane. The timing that when the Garifuna Ballet Folklorico came from Honduras and you reaching the island of St. Vincent, how did that happen? How did you make that come together because it was such a momentous.
I see. I understand.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Well, in March, the government of St. Vincent has National Heroes Day. And the first national hero that St. Vincent elected to be the national hero since their independence is Chatoyer. So there was a large celebration around Chatoyer and the story of, the resistance of the Garifuna or the Black Carib. So Zoila Ellis Brown runs a Garifuna Research Foundation in St. Vincent. She actually is from Belize, but she lives and is married to a Vincentian.
Oh, yes.
She started this organization. And so she had a conference and invited me to show the Garifuna journey, and also invited the Honduran dance troupe to come and perform. So that's how we were there at the same time.
Oh, so you're talking about Lucia Ellis, right?
This was in 2005.
Wow.
Or 2006. And then I went back again in 2012 when they had another, conference. And as a matter of fact, next week is the third conference in St. Vincent. And I'm hoping that my film will be shown to the public on that during that week. I think it's going to be shown on a Monday. I'm not sure exactly. But unfortunately, I'm not able to make it to St. Vincent for the conference.
Right. Now, let me go back to the person that helped you organize, well, not helped you, but put all this thing together, the coming together of the Ballet Nacional Folklorico Garifuna and National Heroes Day. You're talking about Lucia Ellis, right?
Well, Lucia Ellis lives in Belize. It's her sister, Zoila Ellis, who lives in St. Vincent.
So Zoila Ellis. Okay.
So Zoila organized it.
Oh, thank you for that clarification.
Conference.
Yes. Now, if people want to get the movie, I know Dr. Gill was selling the DVD after the screening of the movie Yurume in Homeland. How can people how can they be able to buy a copy of the movie, and how much it is selling for right now?
Well, it's for $35. You can buy it directly through PayPal on you have to go to my website, which is AndreaLeland.com, AndreaLeland.com. There's an order form there, and you can order it right there. And I get payments through PayPal, and that's how it works.
Oh, I see. Yes.
$35, and then if Dr. Gill has some, he'll sell it. If you want to have some, you can sell them, at your school. But the direct way is just to do it through. What suggestions do you have? Of course, I want to get this out. And the other thing I wanted to do was to translate the film into Spanish.
Oh, that would be great.
That's important.
No, that is really important, Andrea, because there's a lot of Garifuna people. As you know, the big majority are in Honduras, and a lot of information that is disseminated is in English only. And I get a lot of complaints from Garinagu, from Honduras, because the information is not being translated into Spanish. So I suggest to you right now and to the people involved in filmmaking and documentaries in regards to Garifuna, that if you really want to reach out to a bigger audience, to do it both in English and in Spanish. Either subtitles or do a translation the way you're thinking of doing it, Andrea. So that's the way to go.
So what I was going to ask you is, if your organization, GAFU, would consider helping to raise some funds to pay to have it, put on DVD, because I have people who will translate, but it costs money to edit it.
How much are we talking about? What is the amount of money? So if we get some investors online, people could also call you or call me.
Yeah, if they could call you and just donate to you, and you could help, pass the money on. It's a couple of $1,000 to, at least $2,000 or $3,000 pay for someone to put it on a DVD, put it on the DVD in the edit suite. Edit suites cost like $600 or $700 a day. They're very expensive, and
Yes.
that's what I have to do in order to make it professional.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if we hear if anybody heard this announcement, that if you're interested in investing or putting your money into a donation here through our organization or directly with Andrea Leland on her website at www.andrealeland, AndreaLeland.com. The website is available to not only purchase the DVD, but also if you want to make a donation to make this film available in Spanish to try to reach out to the big majority of Garifuna people who are in Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, who are pretty much left out of the big picture, because a lot of information today is being disseminated in English only. And we're leaving out a big chunk of the Garinagu who are hungry for knowledge, who really want to know what's going on, because it's so much that is being revealed today, that so much that is happening in the communities in the United States and in Central America, that it is important to make it available in every language, even in Garifuna, if that is possible. Right, Andrea?
One other thing I wanted to say is I have a lot of footage that never made it into the film. I have interviews with people on the island of St. Vincent. I have interviews with like Roy Cayetano and others who are in Belize. And I want to make all that available for free on the internet, on my website as well. So I wanted to know what about that, or if we could somehow link up with GAFU to do that.
No, definitely, it's doable. We could do it, Andrea. We could sit down and talk about it and see how it is going to happen. I mean, you're the one who knows how to do things as far as filmmaking, as far as photography, as far as documentaries. So you take the lead, let us know what we need to do, and we'll put it together. It's a community coming together. There's a lot of people, I'm sure, that are interested in participating as well. But if you want GAFU, we could take the lead. We could help make things happen as well.
Yeah, because what I have to say that I am very, very lucky and very honored to be able to make this literally a physical connection between St. Vincent, Belize, and the urban centers in the United States. I had the privilege of being able to interact with Garifuna in all these different communities: Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, Belize, Hopkins, St. Vincent, and also Roatan. I actually have footage from Roatan, and I really do feel like it's important to share this so that people in the community come to see the Garifuna as a nation, regardless of these geographical boundaries, that it's really one community and you all need each other, you really do, especially
Yes.
St. Vincent. They really need that connection.
No, definitely. Andrea, thank you for that. Now, let's talk about Garifuna Journey. It's such a wonderful book that accompanies the documentary. It's a wonderful film that tells the Garifuna journey all the way from Yurumin, the exile by the British, into Central America. Such a wonderful thing and such a powerful material to use in schools and universities. How did that come about?
Well, as I mentioned, when I went there in '94 for the Garifuna Settlement Day, and then Bob and I went back from Chicago back to Belize to talk to the National Garifuna Council, and we asked them if we could make a document, and as I said, they debated about it, but then they let us do that. So we worked with a lot of the Cayetano family. We worked with Sebastian and Fabian Cayetano. They were about to have a debut for their ancestor, and so I was able to sort of film the preparations for that and they opened their homes to me, and I interviewed them, and Roy Cayetano's in it, and I just felt like I wanted to do sort of paint a portrait of what Garifuna life is like in Belize at that time. And so that's how it came about. And as I said, Bob Richards was my partner at the time, and together we shot it, and he did some shooting and I did some shooting, and then we brought it back to Chicago and edited it. And we went back and forth a couple times to get the story, and we had the Garifuna community collaborating with us all the way along. They told us where we should go and videotape if we forgot something, and or if we didn't know it was important, they pointed it out to us. If we had Garifuna in the edit room in Chicago helping us do a translation, Barbara Flores did the narration. We had the music from Rodel Castillo. It was a total collaboration between myself, Bob Richards, and the community.
Excellent.
So that's how it came about, and I'm pretty proud of it, actually, and I think it served a function. It was finished in 1998, and it was used, actually, I think part of it was taken to UNESCO as part of the material to validate
proclamation, right?
Garifuna as, it was taken by, I think Andy Palacio took it to UNESCO to get that Masterpieces of Oral and Intangible History title. So
wow,
I'm
excellent.
proud about that.
Yes, definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We have on the line Miss Andrea Leland, who is the legendary filmmaker. She has produced some wonderful documentaries, not only in Haiti, but other Caribbean countries, as well as in Chiapas, Mexico. Also, Andrea Leland is an independent filmmaker and an artist. Some of the paintings that she has produced are on display on her website and also available for purchase. She has produced and directed award-winning documentaries focusing not only on Garifuna but also the Caribbean and Latin American culture. So thank you for listening. I want to send a big shout out to Jerry Castro, who is listening in Dallas, Texas tonight. He is tuned in to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. He says, let's see, Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio are tuned in to LMB Roots Labuga.com radio, listening to Ronnie Figueroa and Miss Andrea Leland. So thank you, Houston, thank you, Dallas, and thank you, San Antonio, Texas, for staying tuned to our conversation tonight. Such a wonderful and very educated guest, Miss Andrea Leland, who has traveled all over Latin America. Now, my question to you, Andrea, is there anything left that you would like to do in the Garifuna community? I mean, you have done so much and touched on some very important projects. For example, the journey that Garifuna made all the way from St. Vincent to Central America, and now the reunion during the making of the movie Yurumin, Homeland, the reunion of Garifuna from Honduras with the Garifuna from St. Vincent, and the reacculturation of Garifuna today. Is there anything left that you would like to do in the community, Andrea?
Well, I do have some ideas, but I was going to ask, you and others. I know Dr. Gill would like to do a Urame #2.
Yes, definitely.
I do have some ideas. One idea I really had was I really wanted people within the community themselves to make their own films. And then I had envisioned a website where, someone in St. Vincent we take a topic like cassava. Somebody in St. Vincent would make a home video from their iPhone of them making cassava, maybe eating it. Maybe somebody in Los Angeles goes to the store and buys it and videotapes that and puts it up. Someone else in Honduras, would give the recipe for their version of cassava. Something like that. Something where the whole Garifuna nation can together, participate in a conversation on the internet through their iPhones, making their own videos. And that, I think, might help bring the nations together. That was my thought. That was one thing I thought of, but that's probably a pie-in-the-sky dream.
Well, you know,
Does that
you
make
are
sense?
the person. You are the person with the brains as far as filmmaking and getting these ideas floating. And of course, the things that you have done have proven your ability to really make award-winning films and documentaries. So you know what you want to put together in your head. And I thank you for sharing that with us, because it is important to include the Garifuna community. Is such a widespread number of countries, you know, from Nicaragua and the Orinoco all the way to Honduras, Guatemala, Belize. Now we have states in the Union, in the United States, that are populated with a lot of Garifuna who are pretty much living their culture day to day. I mean, I know of Garifuna people who were born in New York, who were nurtured the Garifuna way in their homes, in their apartments in the Bronx, and that all they spoke at home was Garifuna. Even when they integrated into the American society by going to school, going to work, and getting educated beyond primary school, they were able to hold on to the culture. I know people such as DJ Irving Arzu. I mean, this guy was born in the Bronx, but this guy is totally Garifuna from La Buga. He is like a perfect example, you know, someone who nurtured, you know, the Garifuna duo.
That sounds like a movie.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, and he is a musician. He's a DJ, and he lives in New York, and he works for MTA, of course, the company that runs the trains and buses in New York, and he speaks very fluently.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that does sound like a movie. Maybe somebody within the community might even make that movie. You know,
Why
there's
not?
a lot of talented people, so many talented people within the, you know, Garifuna community for sure, yes. Including yourself. You've done an awful lot, and I really appreciate this radio program, that interview that you did with Roy Cayetano yesterday, and all that you exposed. I think that's really wonderful. I hope you have a nice big audience.
Yes, indeed. You know, it helps us to really communicate the wealth of information that we have. I just feel like we need to do more, but I think we're just putting a little bit into a big old, it's like we're all contributing to make this happen, you know. And by you accepting this invitation to be in the show, by you talking about your movie and making it available to everybody, I think it helps us spread the word and to also inform people that it is important to document your own history, you know. In this
really
day,
is, yes.
Mm-hmm. In this day and age,
people have iPhones. You have iPhones. Just, you know, take an iPhone and videotape, you know, your family ritual or your family meal, or, you know, your parents' story, you know, how they got to where they are. Yeah, it's important to just document yourself.
Yes, definitely. Andrea, for those filmmakers who are Garifuna, who really want to be able to put their films into the Pan-African Film Festival, the festivals in Paris, France, how do you go about it? What do you need to know to be able to market your film to that level?
Well, you know, all you have to do is go on the internet and Google film festivals. And there's a zillion film festivals. It's really a lot of them. But I have found with my films that there's a certain niche. Not all festivals take my films. Mostly those whose audience, you know, would appreciate information about the Caribbean. So there are film festivals in Trinidad, in the Bahamas, in the Turks and Caicos. There are the Pan-African film festivals, the Black film festivals, ethnographic films, human rights, all those kinds of things. So a filmmaker only has to go on the internet and Google film festival and then whatever subject they have. And then there's applications. You just follow the information
I
on
see.
the web.
I think this is important to know. There is a lot of filmmakers out there. There is Mr. Guiti in New York who produced a documentary as well. He traveled to Honduras along with his kids and put together a nice documentary, which we haven't seen yet on the West Coast because of the lack of I think it's we don't get enough information on how to market the films. We and certainly people like.
I'd be happy to do a workshop.
That would be great.
I would. Yeah, I could even do a workshop via Skype, or I could do it when I'm on the West Coast. I'd be happy to do that. That's right up my alley.
Yes, well, we could also fly you to Los Angeles, or those interested in New York could also fly you to New York and a couple of days stay in a hotel and do your workshop and go back. How's that?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, definitely. I would be happy to talk to anybody who wants to know how to distribute a film, because I actually distribute the film also to the educational market. Quite a few professors in universities purchase the film, and then they use them in the classroom. So the films take on a life of their own. You just have to know how to do it, but it's not difficult. It just requires a lot of work and patience and, perseverance.
Yes. It's something that you have, because I have seen you at work. Andrea, I wanted to also talk about GIF, the Garifuna International Film Festival, which is taking place in Los Angeles in the month of May. That is Miss Frida Sidorov, who is behind this Garifuna Film Festival. I understand that your 2 films will be screening during that festival.
Yes, Frida has asked me to show both the Voodoo film, Voodoo in the Church in Haiti, and the Euromane film, and I definitely want to support her efforts because it's important for her to have, films and to have a good audience, and I wish her the best success. She's been very supportive of my work.
No, definitely. Miss Frida Sidorov is been gearing up, doing a press release this week, and also sending updates on a weekly basis on social media in regards to the Garifuna International Film Festival. She will again bring James Lovell from New York to be part of the act during the screening of the movies.
Okay.
Yes. And, of course, last year she had a very nice venue, and year after year she's been growing and growing, and I think that pretty soon we are going to have a bigger theater because it's people are becoming more aware of what's going on in the community. So I wanted to mention the Garifuna International Film Festival and the fact that your 2 films will be screening during that 3-day weekend. It's going to be a 3-day weekend, and she's going to have a 3-day festival, if I'm not mistaken. So kudos to Miss Frida Sidorov, who is tuning in today and who is also a guest of the radio show very often. And, of course, she will be calling a little bit later as soon as we conclude our interview, so she could tell us more about the Garifuna International Film Festival and what she has in store for all of us who are going to be participating and attending the Garifuna International Film Festival. So Voodoo in the Church, Haiti, and Euromane, the homeland, will be screening during the Garifuna International Film Festival happening in the month of May. For more information, visit the Garifuna International Film Festival website and also the Facebook page. So look it up under Frida Sidorov or Garifuna International Film Festival, GIFF. We call it GIF. So GIF will also be giving workshops on how to market films and how to go about making documentaries. So that is great news. I got Frida on Facebook, of course, feeding me all this information, so don't think that I have it in my head, Andrea.
Okay. Yeah, I'd be happy to come and do a workshop on that. I have taught documentary filmmaking before, so I definitely would be able to do a workshop. And in addition, I could show my films, and then, obviously I could show my films, and then people would be able to see it again. The other thing I wanted to say is that I'd love to come on the show again after I have some of the footage up on the website, so I can let your audience members know how to view some of the footage that I have that is not included in the film. So we'll have to stay tuned for that.
No, definitely. No, we could do this again, Andrea. I really thank you for the time you have spent with us. Is there anything else you want to add to this interview? We want to make sure that people are aware of where to get the DVD. It is a wonderful documentary that I want everybody out there, whether you are Garifuna or not, to watch it. It's such a moving story. The way you put it together, I mean, great writing and preparation and editing. Of course, there was a lot of good work in editing, and of course, the music that you selected for the documentary from Rody Castillo. So lucky Rody, because his music was able to make it into the final cut of Yurumen.
Yeah, that was great. His music is very strong and emotional, and there is some music also in there from a fellow who is from St. Vincent. So I don't want you to think it's only. I tried to represent all different geographical parts of the nation. So I have people from Chicago and Los Angeles and St. Vincent who are playing music in the film. And what I wanted to add, and the fellow's name is Abuza. Abuza is the one whose music I used in the film in addition.
Oh, I see. How do you spell that, Andrea?
Andy Palacio. Pardon?
How do you spell Abuza?
Let's see. A-B-Z-U-A. A-B-U-Z-A. Abuza.
Okay, great. For those of you, Google it and let's try to get that music as well, because it really fits in the movie. It's really nice.
Yeah, thank you. And what I would like to just end with is just if people do have ideas of what they think they'd like to make a film or what they think is an important story, I would love to hear from people. I do have my email address on the website as well, so people could email me directly.
Sounds great. Beautiful. So
and my email address.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can give you my email. It's AELELAND, Leland @gmail.com. So I'd love to hear from people, especially if you've seen the film, if you want on it, because it's like it's like my baby. I put it out into the world, and then it just takes off,
Yes,
it
indeed.
has a life of its own.
Mm-hmm. So everybody,
and you never really know, as a filmmaker, you never really know who the films touch,
Yes.
how people react. So I would love to hear from your audience if anybody has seen the film.
So the email is again AELELAND, LELAND @gmail.com, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, let me tell you a little anecdote, something that happened during the screening of the movie, the first screening at the Pan-African Film Festival in Los Angeles. Before the screening of the movie Yurumen, there was a little short documentary, maybe about 5 minutes long. It was about some pigs that swim in one of the islands. I think it's in the Bahamas. So it's like a big attraction. And the documentary was playing on and on and on for like 5, maybe 10 minutes the most. And at the end of that short film, documentary, then they showed Yurumen. But at the end of the two films, of the two documentaries, the Q&A started. So everybody's talking about Yurumen, and nobody wants to talk about the pigs, right? And that's because of such an impact that the movie had on the people. I mean, when you talk about exile, when you talk about the identity that people of St. Vincent were robbed of. You know, when they were taken away from speaking the language, they were prohibited from wearing the outfits from whatever things they did, Garifuna, back in the days. As they exiled the 2,000 people who survived in Baliso. I mean, they were left with nothing, only English only, because that was what the British said. If you're going to stay here, you're going to obey and go by our rules, so do not speak your language. So the only ones who were left with the language was the ones that were exiled to Port Royal in Roatan, Bay Islands in Honduras, and then later on they spread to Nicaragua, Guatemala, and Belize. So that is an amazing thing, because at the end of the screening, when the Q&A was going on, we already had like 10-15 minutes of Q&As on the movie Yurumin, and nobody wanted to talk about the pigs, the swimming pigs. So the lady who was the I guess she was the mediator. She was the one that was trying to get people to talk about the swimming pigs. She started asking questions to the producer of the short film, but he said, no, let's continue to talk about Yurumin. I think it's more important than my pigs. So there you have it. I just wanted to throw that out.
Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
Yes.
Well, that's a nice story.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that.
No problem. I thought that would be interesting, because I mean, as we were, when they turn on the lights, it's when you're waking up. So as the lights were being turned on to go into the Q&A, all of us were trying to wipe our tears, because everybody's going to see that I was crying. But you could see the eyes of the people, not everybody, but the majority of the people who I saw and I witnessed had their eyes were red, and they were still, sobbing and so it was such a powerful documentary. So.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you again that the making of the film was very emotional for me as well, because I could see the real need on the island of St. Vincent of those who were left behind. They really have such a desire to connect with the community in the diaspora. It's really so strong. So I must put a word in for James Lovell and Eleanor Bullock and what they've done to go down to St. Vincent in the summer to teach the poetry and the music and the dance and the songs. I mean, that's really, they should be really commended. I hope you've had him on your radio program talking about his trip to St. Vincent.
Oh,
have
yes.
You?
Yes, we did have James Lovell was early on 2014. I think he must have been on like in June or July. As a matter of fact, the show is archived on the GAFU channel on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, type GAFU channel, GAHFU channel, and you're going to see James Lovell interview, and he did talk about the reacculturation program that's going on in St. Vincent as he travels year after year along with Trish St. Hill from, of course, the island of St. Vincent, who is now living in New York. She goes back with the money that she's able to fundraise. She's also an author. She has a publishing company. And, of course, she puts the monies together to pay for the teachers who will be attending every year's school. It's like a school that happens in the summer. So this year, I know for a fact that the people who she selected, who Trish St. Hill selected to go, is Arufo Dahati, Carlos Domingo Alvarez, also known as Mingo, from Honduras, living right here in Los Angeles, and also Miss Georgette Lambi from Dangriga, Belize, also living right here in Los Angeles. They are the two people who she selected to go along with James Lovell to teach the Garifuna immersion program, so that they could bring the culture, the language, the music, and the drumming back to the Garifuna who were left without any culture, without any language in the Carib territory, which is Sandy Bay, Greg's, Oweya, and so many more places out there.
So one thing I would love to have happen is to have Trish take the movie Yurumin and show it in the villages in St. Vincent. Even I would like to go and be part of that, because I know it has not been shown in the villages, and I really think that's important for the communities to see the film as well, and to express their feelings about it.
Well, I hope Trish is listening. Otherwise, I'm going to attach an email with the link for the recording of this interview, so she could listen to it and find out that you are interested in your movie, your documentary, Yurumi and Homeland, to be shown in the Garifuna, in the Carib territory, as they call it, in St. Vincent,
in the Carib
right?
territory, absolutely. Not just in Kingstown, but, definitely in the villages, because, they can't always get to town. It takes hours to go from Sandy Bay to Kingstown, and then, it's a long bus ride, and then, where are they going to stay, where are they going to eat, how are they going to get back, and many people can't travel that far, so I think it's important to take the film to the villages.
No, definitely.
And I think it's also important to film what James is doing there and what others are doing there to reintroduce the culture. That would be another good piece of footage that should be shot. Somebody should collect that footage.
No, definitely. I think that's really important. And Miss Andrea, I hope that your projects, the project that you're working with, along with Dr. Gill, come to reality. It is important, I think, of the making of the Garifuna Journey Part 2. I know where Dr. Gill is going, because we have talked about that. I think he wants more of a documentary. He wants a film that tells the story of Chief Joseph Chatouillet in the vibrant community that the Garifuna have forged as they lived and worked hard to maintain that beautiful island of St. Vincent prior to and during the arrival of the conquering British and the French, who came to try to take away the beautiful land, and they finally succeeded. But it would be nice that you and Dr. Gill, since you make such a dynamic team, to start doing the fundraiser, the writing of the Part 2, and you can count on all of us, and the Garifuna community is looking forward to the quality work that you put together and that you publish, Miss Andrea.
Yeah, thank you. I do have to give a warm, wonderful thank you to Dr. Gill for his participation and enthusiasm as well, because he was an excellent spokesperson for his community and for the people of Sandy Bay. He was just excellent. And he's so passionate about his culture and St. Vincent, and I'm very proud to be able to work with him.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't be passionate? Being a Garifuna who was able to encounter his own people here in the United States, he was able to find Garifuna people and the people who he was always told that they had been killed and they had disappeared and they didn't know nothing about. To be able to find a vibrant community in Los Angeles, he was able to reconnect quickly in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken, and he has been participating right along different Garifuna cultural groups, in politicians, and in all kinds of Garifuna people here in Los Angeles, to make things happen, to make sure that the word goes out, to know that the Garifuna are alive and well, and they were able to maintain their culture, their drumming, their music, and the gastronomy. So it's wonderful. Dr. Gill's story is unique.
It's a remarkable story, a really remarkable story, and the fact is that he's a physician and he treats the Garifuna from Central America that come to Los Angeles. So,
That is so true. And let me tell you a funny thing, though, that way before we knew, actually my wife Cheryl knew that Dr. Gill was a Garifuna man. He had treated Jalisa, our daughter, when she was a baby. He had seen Jalisa in his clinic on Vernon and Broadway, later to find out that that was the same doctor that claims to be Garifuna, and not only claims, it is a Garifuna himself. So that's amazing.
My goodness. Wow.
That is amazing. Yes.
Isn't it a small world?
Yes, it is.
Pretty amazing.
Yes.
But I think those things are supposed to happen. Just like this film, like when I called you that day and I was looking for Armando Crescenzo, and I was thinking, I'll never, ever be able to meet up with him. I'll never be able to videotape or interview him because he's in Honduras and I'm in California. And then I called you on the phone from San Francisco, and you were on your way to the airport to pick him up that weekend. And you said, come on down and interview Armando, and that's when I met Dr. Gill. I mean, those things are supposed to happen. That's how...
Yes. No, definitely.
That's how the world works.
That's right, Andrea.
Films are made.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that anecdote again. I think that we have been able to really find out who Andrea Leland is. Not only have we put her biography out online, but also we have shared the information of the movies, the videos, the documentaries, both the Garifuna Journey and Yurumin Homeland on Garifuna Link. We were able to send that information to thousands of Garinagu who are members of such a wonderful database of people who are on the net through Garifuna Link at googlegroups.com. If you are not a member, please join Garifuna Link at googlegroups.com. You have to request to be joined as a member, and Mr. Murphy Valentine will accept you and make sure that you join the network of thousands of Garinagu who are connected through email. So there's a lot of good information flowing back and forth in Spanish, in Garifuna, and in English. So, Andrea, thank you so much for being such a nice guest, such a informative guest. You have given us what we wanted, and we wanted to know more about your adventure in St. Vincent, your adventure in Honduras, and the plans that you have in store for all of us with your wonderful documentaries about the Garifuna. So congratulations on Yurumin Homeland, and congratulations on all the wonderful work you did with the Garifuna Journey. You deserve a big award, and I hope that more people get to see this beautiful documentary that you just published, and it's available also on DVD for $35 if you go to AndreaLeland.com. Thank you, Andrea, and good night, and enjoy the beautiful full moon.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me on, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This is Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. This was a wonderful interview with Andrea Leland. We are live from the studios in Long Beach, California, and this is DJ Labuga, live and direct. And this is a little bit of the music of Rody Castillo. This is called Genocide.
Every day, another brother shot, taken down, another sister 6 feet underground.
Garinagu, Sarawak. Millennium 2000 is upon us. Still we sit around with a fuss. Arise, indigenous people. Sarawama, Garinagu, Sarawama. Sarawama, Lida, Yewenegu. Sarawama, Garinagu, Sarawama. Chulu Hada Niduhenyo. The time is now. Garinagu. Sarawama. Garinagu. Sarawama. Wake up. Garinagu. Sarawama. Sarawama. So we signed that peace treaty, declaring us owners of our lands. Saint Vincent. Yurumay, Yurumay, Yurumay. Wabya bara wagya garina. And after several wars, attacks on our dignity, attacks on our men, attacks on our women, attacks on our children. And finally, we shook their blood-dripping hands. But lust and greed, we Garinagu forgot to take heed. And so, we worship beyond, beyond. Living in a exile, yeah. Whoa. Living in a exile, yeah.
Yes! Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We present our weekly radio show every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We have interviews from Aurelio Martinez to Consigo, Gado Nunez, Gloria Osiris, Lord Agustin. Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga brings them all to you on our weekly radio show. Listen live on your home computer, smartphone, iPad, and notebook. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook through Ronnie Figueroa. Also on TuneIn, if you don't have the application, download it for free. Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ Labuga. We have on the line the president, the founder, and the person behind the Garifuna International Film Festival, who is here to talk about the upcoming 3-day weekend festival with documentaries and films that have to do not only with Garifuna but with indigenous people. Good evening, Miss Frida Sidorov. Welcome to Garifuna Music and Talk tonight.
Thank you very much, Betiguño Sumuto.
Betiguño need to Frida. So tell us more about the festival.
Well, the festival is going to be a 4-day event, technically 5, but let's start with how it's being promoted. The first day of the festival is going to be May the 22nd, which is going to be on a Friday evening. That is going to be opening night. So the 22nd through the 25th. I'm remembering that May the 26th has been proclaimed by the city of Los Angeles, state of California, as Garifuna Film Day.
Wow, excellent. That's excellent news.
Yes, and we have documentaries from around the world, as far away as, Australia, China. And so I can share with you some of the films that's going to be, that has been selected.
Please do.
We have, Languages Matters, We Still Live Here, Persistence of Vision, Voodoo in the Church in Haiti by Andrea Leland, The Successor of Katunga, The Three Kings of Belize by Katia Paradis, Red Passage, which is a film out of Hong Kong, Aluna, about the Kogi people, The Time Is Now by Peter Jacques Arzu, our very own Garifuna documentarian, The Fight to Forgive, Seeds of Freedom, Revolutionary Medicine by Beth Gaglia and Jesse Elliott. Freeston, Revolutionary Medicine. Children of War, Arise, Espiritu de mi Mamá, Salud, Through a Lens Darkly, Digital Diaspora Family Reunion, Velo Love, Mount Everest, Urume, Kilimanjaro, Holy Man, Garifuna in Peril, backed by popular demand, To the Bone, Garifuna Heritage, A Clear Vision, and Life Choices Through Interactive Drama being presented by the Raoul Wallenberg Institute of Ethics. And so this year will be, there are several categories: films, documentaries, web series, including music videos. The Garifuna International Film Festival focuses on the preservation of the Garifuna culture, including all indigenous cultures. All cultures are invited. Focusing the preservation of cultures, focusing on films and documentaries, art, music. And so we have much that is going to be presented at the fest year.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Also, Frida, I understand that it's going to be Friday the 22nd all the way through the 25th, right?
That's correct.
So the screening of the movies is going to start at what time every day?
Well, it will begin on the 22nd. We already know the opening film, which is going to be a Luna about the Kogi people, and the presenter of that evening, her name is Dina Metzger, and Dina Metzger is an elder in the community, and will be enlightening us on opening night.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have the information. Please do support the wonderful work that Miss Frida Sidorov is doing in the community along with Dr. Sidorov, her husband. It's a wonderful labor of love. There is not money to be made. It's actually a non-profit effort that everybody needs to support. We're not asking for, or she's not asking for, $1,000 or $100. It's very minimum fee to be able to buy a ticket and to enjoy one movie. And of course, you select the movies you want to see. You go to the time of the screening and you enjoy your movie along with the entertainment. Can you tell us about the entertainment that you're having this year, Frida?
Well, I can. James Lovell is going to be joining us again this year and has been an avid supporter of the Garifuna International Film Festival from the very beginning. And I must mention the support of the Garifuna American Heritage Foundation, which who also supports us with their nonprofit status. Again, thank you very much, Ronnie and Cheryl, for your support.
Not a problem.
So I had mentioned James Lovell joining us. There's going to be an indigenous group called Son Valleros and the Little Jaraneros, and they are the indigenous of Mexico. Alisa Hava is going to be joining us, Culture Jam, Punta Cartel, as well as Gungwe. And I must mention, I also received a confirmation that the Garifuna Choir is going to be once again joining us. And so this is amazing news. I need to mention our keynote speakers for this year, who is going to be Chief of Police Joseph Paulino, along with Helen Cardona, who is an actress. So we have much to present this year, and I am very excited for everyone's support, whether it's live music, art that's going to be auctioned off. I must mention our artists, Nazim, who designed an art piece that's going to be auctioned off at the film festival. So any of you who have an interest in collecting original pieces, support Nazim, Greg Palacio, David Friedman, Karen Redding, Penny Slinger, and Eloja Gori.
Beautiful. Excellent.
Thank you guys for an amazing evening, for allowing me the opportunity to be able to share.
Thank you, Frida. And please give us your website once more. I have published the website on my Facebook page, Ronnie Figueroa. But for those of you who are not on your Facebook page, I want you to please share the website where people could get more information on the upcoming Garifuna International Film Festival here in Los Angeles.
Yes, that would be www.garifunafilmfestival.com.
So you listen...
GarifunaFilmFestival.com.
GarifunaFilmFestival.com. Ladies and gentlemen, and that is the place where you could also see the documentary from our guest, Andrea Leland, Yurumin Homeland, and of course the one about religion in Haiti. So, you know, it has to do with voodoo and religion in church.
In Haiti.
Yes. Thank you for that. So thank you so much, Frida. And we're looking forward to the Garifuna International Film Festival, and hope to have fun and be able to be entertained by wonderful performers, and of course to be able to watch a series of documentaries that are of my interest. Thank you so much, and good night.
Thank you very much, Ronnie. Bitigunyo sumot.
Bitigunyo nitu. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss Frida Sidorov, the president and founder of the Garifuna International Film Festival here in Los Angeles. I also want to remind everybody that SKM Promotions is having a great festival. It's going to be on Saturday, May 16, 2015. Again, Saturday, May 16, 2015. Doors open at 9 p.m. Aurelio Martinez is going to be in town along with Little June, backed up by Punta Cartel Band. Your MC, DJ Labuga, will be in the house. Advance tickets is $25, VIP $60, and you get to be in the back with big artists like Little June, Punta Cartel, and of course Aurelio Martinez. So $60 for VIP. Doors open at 9 p.m. and it's Mi Palacio Banquet Hall, located at 1000 West 70th Street in Los Angeles. For ticket information, please call 718-606-5364. One more time, for more information on the tickets for Aurelio Martinez, along with Little June and Punta Cartel, call 718-606-5364. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be on Saturday, May 16, right here in Los Angeles. Coming up, we got more music by Rody Castillo, and of course, wonderful music from the Garifuna diaspora. So, kemotea, wabinaha, waveduha. Luma DJ Labuga.
Chica nubuya megero, mama nubuya mulado, mama nubuya merigana, mama nubuya faraso. Garifuna au, michigaba, telemiselno, michigabai, michigaba, tegana, michigabai, michigabai, tegarino, michigabai, michigaba, temusino, michigabai, michigaba, telemiselno, michigabai, michigaba. Mama nubuya indurana, mama nubuya negarwa, mama nubuya wadi maluno, mama nubuya balisna. Garifuna au, michigaba, telemiselno, michigabai, michigaba, tegana, michigabai, michigaba, tegarino, michigabai, michigaba, temusino, michigabai, michigaba, telemiselno, michigabai, michigaba, tegana, michigabai.
Gobierno y pueblo, todos por la paz. La herencia maya, el pueblo garifuna, Lenca Chortí, Tahuacaspech. No te olvides de los misquitos, de mi linda Mosquitia. Los catrachos otra vez. gran país, creando divisiones entre nosotros.
Si eres afrodescendiente, eurodescendiente, americano, todos somos Honduras. Si eres afrodescendiente, eurodescendiente, no importa tu raza, tu credo, todos somos Honduras.
Unámonos a reclamar por seguridad. Unámonos, vino a la violencia, queremos paz. Unámonos a reclamar por seguridad.
Cristo está contigo.
Unámonos, todos los hondureños queremos paz.
Honduras, Cristo está contigo. Él no te ha abandonado. Busquémosle. Oye, mi Honduras, Jesús no te ha abandonado. Busquémosle. Cada día más y otra vez. ¿Cuánto más?
Y ahora, por la paz, todo el mundo.
Every time I close my eyes, you're so right. Ooh.
love wave, whoa. You they love wave, whoa. Ah, you they love wave, whoa. Ah, you they see love wave. You they love wave, whoa. You they love wave, whoa. Ah, you they love wave, whoa. Ah, you they see love wave. Hey, you they girl, you they. You they party time, you they. You they girl, you they. You they party time, you they. To the left, you there. To the right, you there. To the back, you there. Why to the front, you there? Lampi, señor que cabale, what Galicia, sing baby. You dey na buewe, you dey na buewe. Ah, you dey say that way. You dey that way. You dey that way. Ah, you dey that way. Ah, you dey say that way. You dey girl, you dey. You dey party time, you dey. You dey girl, you dey. You dey party time, you dey. To the left, you dey. To the right, you dey. To the back, you dey. Why to the front, you dey? You dey girl, you dey. You dey party time, you dey. You dey girl, you dey. You dey party time, you dey. To the left, you dey. To the right, you dey. To the back, you dey. Why to the front, you dey? Señor que cabale. Sing baby. Sweet pain, baby. You dey girl, you dey. You dey party time, you dey. You dey girl, you dey. You dey party time, you dey. To the left, you dey. To the right, you dey. To the back, you dey. Why to the front, you dey? You dey girl, you dey. You dey party time, you dey. You dey girl, you dey. You dey party time, you dey. To the left, you dey. To the right, you dey. To the back, you dey. Why to the front, you dey? You dey. She looks fine all the time in any clothes. She wears a natural beauty anywhere she goes. On the beach, in the park, or just taking a walk. She's a beauty everybody knows. This is Nuru, alongside the mighty live wire band. Now, ladies, it's your time to shine. Come out of the dark, come into the light, cause you know you look good. No need to hide from nobody. Sexy girl, show yourself. Hey, show yourself. Sexy lady, show yourself. Show yourself, show yourself. Calling on sexy lady, from north to south, Corazon Rindra, Belize City, Cairo, Riga, Punta Gorda, La Senza, San Pedro, Belmo, Ponte, Kaka. Here we go. Sexy girl, show yourself. Hey, show yourself. Sexy lady, show yourself. Show yourself, show yourself. Sexy girl, show yourself. Hey, show yourself. Sexy lady, show yourself. Show yourself, show yourself. Hadeina gegero, Hadadoni charigo, Hadeina gegero, Hadadoni charigo, Hadeina gegero, This is Nuru, alongside the mighty live wire band. On the beach, in the park, we're just taking a walk. She's a beauty everybody knows. Big up all live wire band members. Now, ladies, if you know you have a bad tattoo and you buy a dress, a pants, a skirt, a blouse, just to show it off, this is what I want you to do. Sexy girl, show yourself. Hey, show yourself. Sexy lady, show yourself. Show yourself, show yourself. Calling on my sexy ladies from Atlanta, from Miami, New York, Texas, Los Angeles, it no matter where you come from, Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, Nicaragua. Sexy girl, show yourself. Hey, show yourself. Sexy lady, show yourself. Show yourself, show yourself. Sexy girl, show yourself. Hey, show yourself. Sexy lady, show yourself. Show yourself, show yourself. Live wire. This is Nuru, alongside the live wire band, coming straight out of our family studio. Big up King Shush, Stir, Raheem, Bill, Lutu, and Max. Gringa Missy. Whoa, sexy girl, show yourself. Hey, show yourself. Sexy lady, show yourself. Show yourself, show yourself. Live wire girl. I see you. Sexy gal, show yourself. Hey, show yourself. Sexy lady, show yourself. Show yourself, show yourself. Sexy gal, show yourself. Hey, show yourself. Sexy lady, show yourself. Show yourself, show yourself. Brand new. Brand new.
Nice, ladies and gentlemen. Earlier on tonight, at the beginning of the show, we had filmmaker, director, and writer Miss Andrea Leland. She's also an artist. Miss Andrea Leland, all the way from U.S. Virgin Islands, where she resides, from the filmmaker behind Yurumen Homeland and also the Garifuna Journey. And we had a couple of messages that we received from Jerry Castro, who was listening, or who is listening in Texas. As there was so many people listening in Dallas, San Antonio, Texas, Houston, and also all other parts of Texas there. And he says, thank you, Andrea, for what you have done. Your documentary is part of the life lesson to my children and the next generation. So that was Mr. Jerry Castro listening in Texas. Also, Rodel Castillo was the president of the Garifuna Group in Chicago. That's right. And he was very instrumental in helping Miss Andrea Leland with her projects, both the Garifuna Journey and Yurumen, the Homeland. We also had messages coming on Facebook. So I hope if you didn't get a chance to listen to the show live tonight, you could catch it tomorrow. I'm going to process the interview tonight, so it will be ready for tomorrow. So you can actually enjoy this wonderful interview we had with Miss Andrea Leland. So, kemotia wa binaha wa feduha luma DJ Labuga, ladies and gentlemen. Aha. Big up to Byron Cayetano, kemotia.
Yeah.
kemotia, wabina ha, wafedo ha, gunyo to. Ladies and gentlemen, Byro Cayetano is sending a big shout out to DJ Rubio from LMB Roots Radio. Kemotia, DJ Rubio, big up my brother. Jalabuga live in the mix. Kemotia. Okay, familia, we'll come to the end of the show. Butuguño, good night. This is the last one. Next week, we have a very special guest from Guatemala City, all the way from Guatemala. La próxima semana desde Livingston, desde la ciudad capital Guatemala, el livinsteño que tenemos es alguien muy especial que trabaja para el gobierno de Guatemala, que estará en vivo y a todo color con nosotros. Okay, familia, I want to say good night to all of you. Good night. And thank you for tuning in to Garifuna Music and Talk with DJ La Buga. We say good night with this wonderful tune.